Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session of Goodnight meditation. And topic today is learning through wisdom before pain. And so this may be a topic many of you are familiar with if you are studying Raj Yoga. In this Raj Yoga meditation that we practice, the basic knowledge and understanding that's given about the self, the true self, the soul, is a very powerful knowledge when applied in our day-to-day life. And a simple thing, for example, would be the understanding of the immortality of the soul, that the soul is on a journey and may take on different costumes to play a part, but that when this costume finishes, it is not the end of the true being, the eternal soul, and that the soul continues the journey forward. How can that be applied in our day-to-day life with this current environment right now? We have lots of uncertainty of so many areas of our life, including even the safety of our life within epidemic of infections and such going on, as well as in the financial insecurity and the political changes and the environmental instability. There's just a variety of factors that can bring on insecurity in the self if there is not this awareness of the true reality, which is that the soul is eternal and that we have a safe home beyond the physical realm that is also eternal. And as such, all beings, all souls are safe because they themselves are eternal and cannot be harmed. So understanding this knowledge is the first step, but beyond that, using it and bringing it into our awareness actively throughout the day can be very powerful in how we see the scenes of our life differently and how we can empower the self to take different actions. Not saying that one would be careless and do things that would put this body, which is the costume that we use right now to play these parts, we would not knowingly put that in harm's way, but at the same time we wouldn't live from a place of fear of something happened to the body because of this clarity that the soul is an immortal being that cannot be harmed. So that is just one simple aspect of the knowledge that's shared in Raj Yoga study that we practice. And there are so many other areas of understanding and knowledge that helps the soul to see the bigger picture and to have lightness and easiness on this journey. And so every day as we wind up the day, hopefully we're doing this practice throughout the day as well, but especially at the end of the day, it's very nice to come back to that awareness of truth of the self and the bigger picture, so that as we are entering rest, where things are processed and kind of put into a space where it is making sense, that's a very good time to have this clarity before retiring to bed for the rest of the body, if we could say that. So let's take a moment to see if we can come into an experience of what that awareness and clarity might look like, and so that we can practice that on our own as well during the day. So as always, starting with the body, check that the body is relaxed and alert. Make sure that the breathing is full but regular. And if anyone is experimenting with meditation with eyes open, which is encouraged, can do that by finding a place for the eyes to rest, a focal point. And then tuning in to the inner eye, the eye of the mind, the screen of the mind. And in that space, bring the awareness of this inner observer, this invisible traveler, that is using the costume of the body to experience and express, but is not in bondage to the body. It's not dependent on this body. Is distinct and separate, just temporarily combined for a short period of time. But the real being doesn't need anything physical or of the physical world to exist. This being is independent, self-contained, complete, without any additional factors from the physical world. Doesn't need anyone or anything to make it complete. And although most of us have forgotten this truth, this reality, and have been searching in the physical world for that temporary means of security through physical means and relationships, etc. We remind ourselves this profound truth of this eternal traveler, independent from the physical world. Who's here temporarily, but has a permanent home beyond the physical. And that home is a space of complete peace and silence. It's a space of perfection and fullness. where every soul has its own space. It's always there. And this home is also a space filled with perfection and complete cleanliness. There's nothing from the physical contaminating the space. There is nothing or no one that can harm anyone in this space. Souls are all beyond harm. So they experience complete feeling of safety and security. And in this space, they're completely aware of their eternal existence and their eternal relationship with the Father and the family of souls. And the Father is the Father because He holds this truth like a seed holds the knowledge, the DNA for a tree to be created. The Supreme Soul, the Father, holds the knowledge of our truth so that we can come back to our full awareness of who we are. He never forgets. We forget, but He reminds us as we come into His company through meditation, through silence, through reflection. And we start to know ourselves through Him because we are like Him. Full of wisdom, full of clarity, full of peace, so peaceful, loveful.